Welcome to the Stock2Me podcast powered by IBN. This original audio production delivers market and sector insights, as well as exclusive interviews with innovative executives shaping the future in fast-moving industries, and may feature a client partner of IBN or one of the 60-plus investor-focused brands within IBN's dynamic brand portfolio. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, IBN leverages its extensive distribution network, utilizing multiple proprietary corporate communication tools to introduce both public and private companies to a vast and diverse audience of investors, consumers, influencers, journalists, and other targeted segments of the public. IBN may have received compensation to produce this audio content. Please be sure to read IBN's entire disclaimers for full disclosures. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the next revelatory episode of IBN's Stock2Me podcast.
Thank you all for joining us for our latest podcast episode with the CEO of Tuttle Capital Management, a firm known for pushing the boundaries of the ETF industry with over 20 successful launches. Matthew, it's so great to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So since most of our audiences focus on trading traditional stocks and ETFs rather than meme coins, I'd love to just start by exploring their appeal. Maybe you could share what inspired Tuttle Capital to file for leveraged meme coin ETFs.
Sure. So I think we've seen a lot of things happen over, the past year or so. So, I think everyone was aware of Bitcoin, in crypto for the past few years. But for most people, like people my age, they really haven't had access to it because, I'm not going to open up, an account at a crypto exchange and try to trade crypto. That's just not what I'm used to. So we finally saw the advent of spot Bitcoin ETFs. The SEC finally had to relent. We saw the issue of those. And the cool thing about ETFs is they're an access product. They give people access to easily invest in things that maybe they couldn't have on their own. So that opened up the floodgates. Then we had an election, and we now have a president who is rabidly pro-crypto. In fact, he's got his own meme coin, as does his wife. We have a crypto czar. I don't know what a crypto czar is or what a crypto czar does, but the fact that they would go out of their way to name one is telling. And we now have an SEC that is maybe not pro-crypto, but certainly willing to play ball on crypto. So I think you're going to see a massive expansion beyond Bitcoin. And so, long answer to a short question, we wanted to give investors access to be able to have exposure to that, if they want to trade some of those other coins beyond just Bitcoin and Ether.
Awesome. Yeah, it makes total sense. So when a major crypto network launched a $100 million culture catalyst fund a year ago to invest in this space, it certainly made waves in crypto circles. But how has the more traditional market reacted to your meme coin ETF filings?
I think it's mixed. You have some people wondering whether, that's a sign of the top of the market. But then you've got, the crypto guys are excited because it gives them another way to access. And, I think probably an easier way for some people and a more comfortable way. You can just go on your Robinhood account, your Webull account, just buy an ETF versus, having to buy the crypto, having to worry about like some sort of FTX type of event. So overall, the reaction has been positive.
Awesome. And of course, many of us in the crypto circles know this, but maybe not everybody listening to this episode. There are literally millions of meme coins at this point. What made you choose the ones you did?
So what we did is we looked at the top 10 market cap. It wasn't anything, doing any sort of real detailed analysis, because at the end of the day, I think we're in the first innings. And who knows how this is going to play out. So we just wanted to start with the top 10. And, and then we'll take it from there. We'll see, which ones are the most popular ones from an ETF standpoint. So, I doubt we're going to launch all 10, but we wanted to get them in there, and then we'll make a decision.
Gotcha. And obviously, there's a lot of upside potential with meme coins. The screenshots are just crazy on X. And I can't help but point out that Doge has significantly outperformed Bitcoin for 8 years now. But what are your thoughts when it comes to the risk side of the equation?
These are not for the faint of heart, especially 2X. You have a 2X ETF and the underlying goes down 51% in a day. We go poof. I mean, that's it. And some of these coins have had moves like that in a day. So you need to be very careful. You either, need to look at these as trading vehicles, and manage risk accordingly, or you need to look at them as a small part of an overall asset allocation.
Makes sense. And it's impossible to ignore the rapid changes happening in the regulatory landscape, to your earlier point. But rather than ask a routine question about it, I'd just love to hear if you have any bold predictions or insights on where things could be headed next.
I think you're going to see more and more kind of developments, advancements in crypto. I think you're going to see more indexing because, one way that you deal with the risk of individual coins is combine them together, like people have done in stocks where, hey, I may not want to go out and own one stock, but if I own 500 or 100, that's a different story. So I think you're going to see things with indexing. I think you're going to see things combined with options and income strategies and staking. I think, there are no limits to what we might see in innovation in the crypto space. Again, I think we're only in the early innings here.
Sure. And beyond meme coins and other cryptocurrencies, are there any sectors or trends you're exploring for future ETF launches?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think AI is a game changer on two levels. First off, the areas of AI, from an investment standpoint. So, I'm also an investor. I'm a trader. And major technological advances create the best opportunities. So in the 90s, the internet boom. Now we're seeing maybe even more powerful with AI. So you want to look at all the different sectors, the semiconductors, the agents, the infrastructure, AI in healthcare, and we're launching ETFs in most of those areas. The second thing, which could be even more powerful, is using AI to pick stocks. So the ETFs we're launching in all those areas use AI to pick the stocks and pick the weightings. I believe with today's AI, forget about, advancements that are coming fast and furious. Today's AI makes traditional indexing and active management obsolete already. I can do in ChatGPT what it would take an analyst at Goldman Sachs a week to do. I can do it in 10 minutes. So I think that is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I can definitely see how it would change the whole investment landscape. The ability to very efficiently not just see what could make a great investment today, but as things change, to instantly react to that. And of course, having so many people post on X and being able to use Grok to also see what people are talking about, because it's not just about the data, it's also how people are reacting to the data. I can't even imagine the fascinating future we're headed into.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been such a fascinating conversation, spanning from meme coin trading to the broader shifts taking place. Your ability to spot emerging trends is always intriguing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
The Stock2Me podcast is an original content production powered by IBN, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers next-generation corporate communication solutions. Utilizing proprietary corporate communication tools such as news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness techniques, among others, IBN introduces both public and private companies to diverse audiences to enhance reach and recognition. IBN may receive compensation for services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of IBN or financial analysts mentioned in this production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities in their own accounts. This production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities that may be mentioned in this production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries inherent investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This production by IBN is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used in statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by IBN as to completeness and accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see IBN's full disclaimers and disclosures at www.ibn.fm/disclaimer. Music in this episode is by Infraction. For more, visit inaudio.org.